Hello?
Hey, what's up?
Not too much. How are you?
Not too bad.
Um, Commentating games and like being in games again. You were
S
sort of like fully out of L5R for a while, I felt like.
I'm pretty out of it, for a lot of reasons, but
Yeah.
and I don't see my I don't know, at this point in time, I don't see myself coming back.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think I'm gonna take a break from it as well. I've been enjoying just like playing random World Cup lists against people because it doesn't require any sort of like deck building or thinking about L5R.
It's not even that, it's just like a lot of the reasons that I first really got into L5R and what really draws me to the game, like a lot of that is not in the game anymore.
Yeah.
Or like is being phased out like with all these cards that we keep seeing, and it's just making it not as enjoyable for me. I just don't see the appeal. Like if like the direction the game is going does not appeal to me, it doesn't make the game unique enough for me.
Hmm.
Whereas like the incremental advantage resource management style of game that we had for 2 years or whatever was a lot more fun for me. It was more rewarding, I would say.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, that's sort of what I also feel. It's also like the current archetypes of what makes a good deck just very boring.
Well, like I mean, L5R in general has always been very generic, right? In terms
Yeah,
of like the cards, which is fine. It's just that the game is becoming so power creeped, and the cards that we've seen and have been spoiled just don't lead me to believe that it's going to get any better.
yeah. I
But
also have like zero um trust in Tyler making things right.
so before my issue, I had I used to think that balance would always be hard to do, but I trusted that design wouldn't introduce more cards to make that job harder, right?
Right.
But as as we see with Pack 3, like the fucking Papers Please card,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
like
That part is fucking insane.
it's just so unreasonable for that card to be introduced into the game that I can't think of like why that needed to be introduced into the game, right? Like when you design a new card or a new mechanic or anything, right? You should have a like kind of a vision of how you want it to impact your game, right? So when
Hmm.
I design a new card, say you start with a baseline card of I would like a dynasty. Like first off, you just have to start with what kind of card, right? So we'll say dynasty event, and
Hmm.
we'll say that we want it to be good against faded characters, right? Like I pitch you that idea, okay? So
Hmm.
then with that idea, we then have to design a card, right? So what's good against faded characters. Obviously, discarding faded characters is too powerful, so you have to step down from there, and we settle on bowing faded characters, right? And then you have to design the card cost wise, and then you have to figure out how to implement it.
Hmm.
And the way that Papers Please got implemented was just like it was just like the first idea that came to mind. It's like, all right, let's make it bow somebody. Well, we'll make it on reveal, so it's not too consistent. Add some randomness to it, and then we came up with rally the cycle, right? All right, slap rally on it, done.
Yeah.
And
Just
then
feel
and then they're like,
interesting.
what should it cost? Everything else in this game costs 0. We'll make this one cost 0 too.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things that I sort of mind is that it feels as though a lot of the time.
The game's up in case you haven't.
Oh yeah, okay. We go into it. Um, One of the things I sort of mind sometimes is that it feels as though um like Tyler doesn't like the way that the game is, you
So
know?
like, I I used to cut him a lot of slack, because of the earlier sets that got released,
Yeah,
but
because earlier sets were really dumb.
they were
Yeah.
dumb. They were dumb, and he had no control over them. And the way the game is made and the power curve has been set, he has no control over. Right? That's not his fault. However, I will say that this cycle, I think, is the worst design cycle since the game has come out.
I would agree with that. Yeah.
I just think in terms of the cards that have been made and released, like that made it to release the way they are, the mechanics, like I think Rally is actually a terrible mechanic. Um, I think Rally was introduced as a solution for something that wasn't a problem.
No, I do kind of I do kind of like the idea of making dynasty buys um a little bit more sort of like regular. I think that
Well,
that's cool.
well, so I think I would go the opposite direction. I think the game suffers sometimes from too much consistency,
Right.
right? And
Well,
that's
the
why you have these
one thing
super
it
high win
did have
rates.
consistency in was dynasty.
It wasn't even that inconsistent, right? Like if you flushed every card every turn, like you still like and then it actually made the rest of your dynasty. It actually made the rest of your dynasty inclusions more important, right? As
Right.
opposed to now with all the rally and cards that see more dynasty cards, the non-key dynasty cards don't matter like at all. You're like,
Yeah.
all right, my deck is around Mitsu. I'm gonna put as many rally cards and cards that flip to Mitsu as possible, right?
I
And
mean, so in that
so
case,
like I
that's sort
think
of
I think that's a negative actually, and not a positive.
yeah. I have to think about it more. I agree with you, by the way, Shishoro, that if a lot of the dynasty events are really neat, but like having all of them have rally does feel like it's a double thing. Like I actually
Well,
really like
all of them don't
Speaker,
have rally, which
which makes it really unequal. But all the ones that matter have rally. Like
no, Dispatch Nowhere doesn't have rally.
oh, that's true. I mean, it goes into its own subcategory of Scorpion cards.
I'm honestly shocked that it doesn't have rally. To be fair,
am
like
too.
like
Yeah, yeah.
like very shocked.
But sure, that's because it's a Scorpion card, not because it like if that was like for green, it would first of all have two more gates, would not have rally, and would cost one more, right?
I think like yeah, like cards like Season for War, cards Papers Please, like all should not have rally.
Season of War, I
I just don't
actually
think rally should
really like.
exist. I just
I
like don't.
really like seasons. Like I think that
I think no, that should be a dynasty event. It just shouldn't have rally because rally shouldn't exist.
right.
Like these dynasty events are fine. I don't mind dynasty events at all. Like I actually like the design space a lot. Um,
Yeah, so do I.
I like the
I
design
would just
space of
find it
dynasty
only
events.
played in Dynasty phase.
I don't like certain effects being on dynasty cards, such as Papers Please, because you're just introducing like Papers Please is even more RNG than Maze basically. Like
By
it's
the way,
just the
is
same level
Pintor
of RNG.
is Pablo playing Honor? Is he like
Oh yeah,
running
sorry,
Honor?
sorry. There's a game that's going on too. So we have Line vs Crane. Real quick, I know SlyNight's deck list. Let's take a quick look at the deck that Pablo is playing.
Yeah.
He is playing Seeker of Air. I believe this is Honor Win.
I saw him play against.
Yeah, he has Honored Blade. He has Honored Blade, and he has 3x Kami Unleashed. I would classify this deck as Honor Runner.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. I think that I watched one of his games because he was playing the Philippines, and I think he won on like he got 25 honor. But it took a while, so I don't know how standard it is.
Um, I mean, we've seen a lot of different we've seen a lot of different Lion decks in the World Cup, and
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like Lion can do whatever the hell they want as long as you include 3x tactical ingenuity, all your good dynasty characters, like your 12 good dynasty characters, and then like or 2 or 3 prepare for wars, right? Like that's like in every deck. Right.
Oh, yeah, I mean that's pretty standard L5R though, just like good stuff, and then the
I
rest
mean,
fits the way.
not really, right? Like
Yeah. Actually, I don't see a lot.
in terms of the number of viable archetypes, like Lion has 3 or 4 legitimately different decks, right? No
True.
other
I think it's a
faction.
good thing though. Like I wish every clan was like that.
Sure, but like that's like their core of good auto include cards kind of works in that sense, right?
Yeah.
Whereas like if you look at Dragon, like Hurricane Punch, I can't put in my like I'm not gonna put it in certain
Your
decks, right?
list or
Like
whatever.
I'm not gonna put it in my my Bushi driven deck or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree with you, Shishiro. Lion's Good Stuff cards are 100% just universal. They're just like solidly built cards. I think that's like, I don't want to condemn Lion because they have good cards. I wish every clan was like that, but certainly it feels like Lion and Scorpion are pretty much just like universally good cards that do good things.
So we have this. I don't know what this card is called, but it's the honor gaining tactician dude.
Chronicler of Conquest.
Chronicler of Conquest, not a tactician, courtier. He has to do a battlefield, which
Yeah,
there
but,
is one favorable ground.
He's also
So he's used his Chronicler to gain one. We had a court games to dishonor it, and then we have Rd4 was not breaking.
You don't actually want Rt4 to break, right? Because
Why did we court? Oh, he just went into court games. He just went into court games to force action. I don't know why we didn't honor our Brass Samurai with the Brass Samurai's ability. Am I missing something? You wouldn't be breaking. Okay, and then we see it.
Yeah.
Why play the court games there, right? Like, I don't understand the court games play.
Behind the court games, I think that you play the court games so that he doesn't court games you.
Why does that matter? If he court games as you just activate Brass Samurai to neutral yourself, and then if you still need to win, you can court games yourself to honor, right?
Yeah, I think that it is a legitimate, like, one of the things that I see a lot with honor runners is that like they win off of just like having honored characters leave play. So I agree that your sequencing is more tight. I do agree with the idea of just like dishonoring their dudes being a priority.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know. I feel like you go down too many cards, spewing advantage that way. You were gonna win the air ring there. It looks like, right? Like the way you're pushing that turn, and so the actual slow down the you're attacking air turn one, right? Like air and earth are how you beat the honor decks, and presenting a clock. You need to present a clock, and you need to hit air and earth. And it's not like Pablo bid one on turn one where he's already going for like starting off like at 18, right?
Right. So maybe it was too aggressive on SlyNight's part. I agree. And sure, I think that while it is true that Scorpion doesn't have a lot of really relevant conflict cards, their dynasty is still super solid across the board.
And the conflict cards that they do play in of their own clan are just some of the most absurdly efficient cards in the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Scorpion Dynasty currently is really good, and like Takao is a really solid character that would see play in any other list, but not Scorpion because you just can't make room for it.
I would argue that Scorpion Dynasty being maligned was a giant ploy, and people like just didn't evaluate their dynasty properly. Scorpion Dynasty in year one was perfectly fine. You had cards like Shoshiro Actress, and you still had Liar. You still had Court Shoju. I mean, Yogo Hiroi was actually really strong in the early game, in the early parts of the game.
But I mean,
like,
I think that it's
obviously better, right? But like, I think that how bad it was very very maligned in terms of the complaints, and mostly just because the conflict deck overshadowed it so heavily.
Yeah.
But like, it wasn't bad by any means. And so we see a Goblin Seat come down from SlyNight after 2 Keeper Initiates defended Upholding Authority. We did see a Kakita Dojo plus Kyuden Kakita honor the Keeper Initiate.
And I do like this water attack.
Yeah, so this tells me he doesn't have like a Tessin or something to actually stand up. So real quick, SlyNight is playing Scorpion Splash, playing with copies of Miyako, calling in favors, and backhanded compliment. So we have 3 Miyakos. Oh, sorry, Mark of Shame too, not calling in favors. It's 3
is it just pure kill? Does he have duel to the death as well?
No, he has. I don't know why he has these backhanded compliments, but he has 3 Miyakos, 3 Mark of Shames, two Noble Sacks, 3 backhandeds, and a Mono no ORA.
Oh, okay, that's
weird. I like the game plan. It's a very like it's the game plan makes sense, but I don't understand what these backhanded compliments are for.
Because you're never really gonna get anybody
I
low
mean, you
enough
can,
to
but like,
kill
also,
them.
why are they in the deck? Are you just backhanding complimenting yourself? But he's also playing 3 assassinations.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that.
Like,
I
I would
agree. Like the only other clan that can almost convincingly use backhanded compliment in my mind
is Crab.
is Crab.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it's like this is just three cards that are not really doing much. Yeah, all these lists run New Yoshi just for like the insane amount of dishonor that it can get you.
No,
Uh,
no. He's playing Old Yoshi.
he is.
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Old, old Yoshi is better in every single. I would rather have Old Yoshi every single time, minus minus against Scorpion
Right.
because of Shoji 2. But like, he easily won favor here if he just flips Yoshi and buys Yoshi with 3 Fate. How does Lion ever win? Like
Yeah,
like like
he just keeps on funneling cards into his
yeah,
hand. I agree with you. I
you just
like
both
old
been
Yoshi.
like Old Yoshi snowball is way too hard for me to want it.
I also agree with I can swim actually is pretty interesting out of these kill decks because you can force weird bids just by bidding two
No,
in
just
like
yeah,
a
just
below.
dueling. In the
Yeah,
duel deck specifically, like any deck with like a throwaway duel, like on these cookie to dojo duels where both players are gonna bid one, you can just throw in a 2 there and get your opponent.
yeah. You just bid two and you get I can swim turned on. I actually really kind of like this Keeper of Air Crane deck. I think that it's pretty neat, and I like the fact that it's like a new sort of thing that they're building.
It's not really new, right? Like Zarzakit was doing this for the past year.
It has become a lot better,
It's become a
right?
lot more popular. No,
Yeah,
it's definitely gotten worse because Mark of Shame got restricted. What? This deck absolutely got worse. But
I understand.
it's good in the current meta.
Yeah.
He
That's
is
what I mean. It's better in the current meta than it used to be.
he's not playing any copies of Soulband Approach, and he's playing 3 copies of Hige Sermon. So definitely, like this deck is obviously very tailored into one style of you're definitely trying to beat these mid range character focused decks, right?
Yeah.
Um, we did see an Honor General get played, and then it got hit by Hige Sermon. Pablo bows the 2 Faded Brash Samurai that SlyNight bought.
It
SlyNight
definitely
does
just
flip the
gonna get
third.
like Tessened, right?
I mean, if he has it right, I don't even know if you would do it on that one. Like you might save it to like defend with your keeper or something.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like if
I
you want
think
to
that
double,
I think that
you can
Flynn
stand.
just sort of thought that Pablo was going to bid one because he already had such a huge card advantage having Art of War broken Dario. So that's why he probably bid one, not because he's trying to honor out on him. I actually think that the one bid probably was a mistake.
Well, if you one bid as Pablo, also you put pressure. At some point, if some point you need to force your opponent to also bid one with you.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm saying he's only on 16 because he bid one into Pablo's five.
Yeah, that's the
Um,
only reason. And Crane has 3 copies of Assassination. Like Crane is not gonna honor out here.
yeah, that's true. Definitely wants to play these assassinations.
There's no more battlefields in play, right? Like Hall of Victories is not a battlefield. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a dishonorable assault is a battlefield.
Yeah, but
It's not
Dishonor.
flipped up yet.
Yeah, yeah.
So it depends on where like if depends on if SlyNight wants to break or if he wants to sort of scout as to whether he if he could just randomly hit.
Well,
Oh, but I guess it doesn't matter.
SlyNight probably wants to break before the throne at this point because he has the honor to give.
Yeah, and Pablo's not in any sort of like
You could scout
um,
also. I don't know. It depends on how you see the turn going. So we see Kidnakoma bowing the other Brash Samurai after, and then we see a common cause gets used to stand the honor general.
yeah. Yeah, you're right. He is actually functionally at 20 right now.
Sure, but functioning at 20 doesn't really matter if you don't have the tools to close, right? Because
Yeah, I agree. I'm just sort of responding to
you're down
your
7 cards. So like if the bids become 1-1 and you stall out at 20 to 21, it doesn't really matter.
yeah. I imagine that Pintor Pablo is going to ditch this Hall of Victories.
So we're gonna see a
What
poke
do you
out.
think of comment like Crab Splash Lion?
I know Dario is playing this. I think it's fine, right? Like,
I agree with you, Zarzaka. I think that he's just on a high amount. I mean, he's gonna go for the air ring just for the keeper here, not because of and
yeah.
the denier.
It also
I don't think that
denies
he's
it also
actually
denies
gonna.
the airing from your opponent. I don't know. I like Earth. I like Earth more than every other ring. I don't mind Void here either. It has money on it,
Yeah.
and you can threaten the Honor General leaving play next turn.
I even don't mind fire here to set up to like get rid of the honor token on the honor general. I think that that's fine.
Sure, yeah. Or like using it on if I don't have a test in here, using it to honor my Brash Samurai to match honor tokens for a turn.
Yeah, yeah, I like that too.
I'd probably just go Void, right, like to protect my Brash Samurai and threaten the honor general.
Yeah.
Like you're playing Mark of Shame. Your deck has expensive cards in it. I want Fate to play with.
Oh yeah, it also might be what his hand is right now. Like he just doesn't have any expensive cards in it, I would suppose.
Yeah, I mean, in that case,
Um,
I like Earthring more than Airing also.
yeah, to just get
Um,
more.
I mean,
You also need to make up this differential, right? Like 9 to 14 is a lot nicer than.
Obviously he wants to win favor. So winning the airing is good too. If he wins the airing, gets another keeper, he can win favor. Like
Yeah,
obviously you want to find Yoshi. That's one
yeah,
your way to keep this kind of honor totals, like keep the honor totals the same, and then also supplement your cards.
yeah. Yeah, actually, he's gonna gain a fair amount of honor just this round.
I mean, so hypothetically, if he wins the airing, he'd go to 19, 20 from Hall of Victories, and go to
22.
22 from honored characters leaving, but then he's still down
Then he
6
just would
cards.
draw a lot on 22, right?
Yeah, that's what it feels like, right? Down 6 cards, and then even if you're just not gonna win the airing on the next turn. It feels like.
Yeah. Well, I liked putting honor pressure on the lion and sort of forcing them to break.
I mean, it's
Um,
not that hard for Lion to do that, right? Like,
no, it's not, but it's still like I think that it's sort of denying them a. Oh, he just chooses to take one. So this tells me that like he is also not like SlyNight's not trying to honor
well,
outright.
Slinet has
He's
3 copies of Backhand and Compliment in his deck, remember? So he could just
oh
backhand and
right,
compliment Pablo if Pablo gets too low. But I just like don't again I don't see that line of play working either because there's just incremental honor gain in the Lion deck.
yeah, I agree. As a Scorpion, I've tried when I play Scorpion, I've just like given up on trying to dishonor Lion and just going for breaks on Paul
Yeah,
conflicts.
you just use the air you just use rings to gain 2, especially with New City or back to Old City. It's a lot easier to just like backhand and compliment yourself and just
Yeah,
like go for more impactful cards.
Ronan, I agree.
This
You
is
do like
this is pretty unfortunate for Pablo here. Scouts out a new province and runs into Shameful.
oh, he hit that with
Oh, no, he didn't hit.
Chronicler.
No,
He's already used Shameful.
oh, did he? Oh, yeah, he attacked it. He
Hit
attacked
it
it with
with
his first attack. Got it.
yeah. I'm wondering if he's going to. Would you if you were a Sly Knight, do you think that you would mark a shame this guy?
Uh,
I'd consider it.
he is a commander, so prepare for war is kind of awkward.
Yeah,
But
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 apparently,
if I have voice of honor, obviously I'm really going for it.
yeah,
So we see first tactical ingenuity come down. That's another reason I liked going for void. There was you threaten your tactical ingenuity platform.
yeah. Looks like he's just fine with the win, but not the loss.
Yeah, he's not taking the break right now. Okay, so we see an honor blade come down. So breaking and threatening an honor gain here.
At this point, I think that if you have a mark of shame, I would consider playing it.
So it would become 4 to 3.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you have noble sack, like you snap it off. I think,
Oh yeah, Noble Sack is automatic on this.
especially with 2 attachments committed now.
Yeah, and one of them being
It's
tactical.
like it's like really awkward though. How many copies of Prepare for War does this line list play?
I imagine 3.
2.
Okay.
If I have a voice of honor, I'm absolutely snapping it off. But it doesn't look like
Looks
he
like he's
has
just
either.
taking the break.
He just might not have either, right? Like he hasn't drawn. He's only drawn 11 cards.
Yeah. Now I think that I would actually go for Earth, your last attack here.
Yeah, and then scoop up the 2 Fate Void Ring for my first attack next turn.
Yeah, and the Honor General is going to be 1 next turn, so it's fine.
Zara, I mean, I don't think you need the voice. Like, you could definitely, like, obviously trading Mark of Shame for Prepare for War, it feels bad. However, there's only 2 Prepare for Wards, so like, you have to plow through them at some point, right? Like, so I would, like, if I had the Noble Sack there, I might consider it, because if you do land your Noble Sack there, it's obviously, you basically win the game. Because
I agree. Like you do sort of want to force it out of hand, and this is a relatively low. I don't know.
It's
One
like
more.
low investment, right? Like you trade 2 for 1 Fate is like the problem in quotation marks. And so
So you just going for the Void Ring.
yeah, he did have the Tessin. I don't know why I'm going for Void here. Maybe he just thinks that this is a time for him to win Void, so he can get the Honor General off, and maybe he thinks next turn he might not be able to actually win the Void Ring.
Yeah, I could get behind that line of reasoning.
Like
Get some
that would be the reason to do it, right? Is I can guarantee my win on the Void Ring this turn right now, so I want to be able to make sure this Honor General leaves play next turn.
Yeah, and then sort of deny the
Well,
first
so Ronan, that only matters if you want to be buying, like, if there's specifically something in Dynasty that you need to buy immediately, right? Like, that's the only reason it matters to take the money now.
Sure. I just think that he's just trying to threaten dishonor on Pablo more so than trying to honor out. Like I
I
kind
don't
of
even
agree
if it's
with him.
threaten. I don't even know if it's threatened dishonor in quotation marks. I think it's just he wants to keep the honor total low for Pablo. Because
Yeah, that's a better way
he's
of
just
putting
literally
it.
just not going to dishonor him, right? Like, Pablo just won 2 honor from Hall of Victories and Honor Blade, right?
Would you assassinate this guy if you were? Oh no, he's just gonna ban. Okay.
I mean, I would. I have 3 assassinations on my deck. I don't know what else I'm.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Even in Scorpion, sometimes you just have too many assassinations.
Yeah, you just like well, yeah, you just niece them, right? But
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like, you just need to snap them off.
yeah,
I mean, you would get an unopposed, you would get the break, you would get the void ring. Like, absolutely, I'm firing it off if I have it.
yeah. I guess he doesn't.
So another way of the line here would put
Another way of
Pablo up.
line seems really excessive.
Is it though? It saves the void ring on your. I would win. I would go to win this ring at. I wouldn't say at any cost, but like, I would absolutely try and win this ring because you're up 6 cards, right? Like, you want to be throwing. You want to be throwing cards. Ooh, this is sick actually.
This is
So
sick.
so if he so we have basically lion display of power get played, which is what this echoes on Tutoria is basically
Well, so
display of
then that
power.
makes me think that if he was willing to do this, why not just do this first action and weigh the lion to Tori instead of weigh the lion to Berserker?
Well, so way of the lion berserker makes like an assassination. You're baiting assassination then.
Yeah.
You're trying to bait cards here, right? Like, if you trade 1 for 1 with your opponent, you are ahead in that sequence because you're already up so many cards and you have a tactical ingenuity on board. So
Yeah,
you're
that's
just
true.
trying to attrition your opponent down. This is the Void Fist duel, right? It's Paul duel Void, and then loser gets Void
Yeah,
Fisted.
yeah. This is
But you can dishonor to refuse.
yeah. I don't understand who is he gonna like force shame the Satori and then do it?
I mean, that's what you'd have to do, right?
Right. That seems okay. That to me is a little excessive and card intensive, but okay.
So we do have the 2 Fate Arbiter of Authorities in here. 90-12. I mean, obviously Pablo just passes, forces his opponent to do something.
Yeah. So this is gonna be at least another card out of Knight's hand. But he took 1 instead of +2 when he won air.
Yeah, I think we answered that already.
Okay, so sorry. Oh, oh, never mind. Wow, 22 spectators in this game.
I have 23 people in my stream. I don't know. I don't know. I feel like half the people here could just be in the stream and make our stream more entertaining.
Yeah.
by interacting with us via chat. Although some people might be watching from work or something, right? And Jigoku is probably less blocked than Twitch.
Ronan just said that he sent me a message saying, "Is that are both of you guys in commentary? If so, you guys are Debbie Downers.
Are we what?
Being Debbie Downers.
Why would we be being Debbie Downers?
Oh, because we were just like shitting on the game, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I just why I'm not playing right now.
Yeah, we were being Debbie Downers at the
I
beginning.
mean, I can be a Debbie Downer all I want. Like, it's just my opinion on the state of the game right now. I have literally always spoken my mind about what I think about the game, and I will continue to do so. If it happens to be in a negative way, then hopefully things get remedied where I don't feel that way anymore.
Yeah, Dustin, I've actually done the same thing. Sometimes when I'm like, because also when I used to go to work, Twitch didn't go on my computer. Like I couldn't get past the firewall to do it, so I would do it just for the commentary.
So we did see the Force Shame to Dishonor Satori, like you said, but then we saw a counter Prepare for War.
Yeah.
So like I actually like trading Force Shame for Prepare for War. You're trading up a fate, and now Prepare for War is not a. There's only one left for a counter to Mark of Shame.
Yeah, I was thinking that's actually pretty okay. And one thing,
Obviously, this Taturi resolving this Void Ring is really harsh here. I was wondering if he would if he's gonna keep the keepers desynced or if he was gonna get rid of this keeper that's honored. I like keeping them desynced.
I do too. What do you think that Pablo is going to bid next turn?
I don't know what's my game. What's the game plan? What do I think? Wait, no. The real question is, what do I think SlyNight is gonna bid?
I think that SlyNight is forced into 5-bid.
I flipped a Zentaro and a Storehouse. I think I might be able to just bid one.
Yeah, I agree, especially because now you can steal this esteemed.
No, you can't. Well, I mean, you can, but like if you attack it, then your opponent just bounces one of your Honor Blade or whatever. What was that season? Was that season where it got played? All right. Well, that flipped Pablo at LPV and another Zentaro, awkward, and another Storehouse. Whoa.
Yeah.
It's absolutely not what you want here. I'm probably bidding 3 if I'm Pablo. I'm not honoring out, and then if my opponent bids,
by
1,
I wouldn't be surprised by a 1.
What? No, if my opponent bids 1, then they have 6 cards, and then they go to 22. They go to 21 with 23 on board, and they have to go air ring as their first ring, and then you can go fire.
They kind of naturally want to go air ring anyway because they have 2 keepers in the bin.
Yeah, but you're not gonna win the air ring against 14 cards plus 2 tactical ingenuity uses.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
I don't know. Maybe that's too greedy. Maybe you just bid 1 anyway.
Yeah, I do actually think that yeah, even on poll, I don't think that you can super win this.
Where's the big Paul numbers here? I don't know. I guess on Paul you do. I guess you have Paul favor too, right? Like I guess Paul you actually like threaten just based on base stats and the Lion not having any stats. Yeah, all right. Maybe you just bid 1 here just to be safe. Like
Yeah, so that's
World
what
Cup game. So in a random Jigoku game, I would bid 3, and I would see how far I could go like without losing.
Yeah, definitely see the 1 bid out of Pablo. SlyNight bidding 1. I can also see just because you don't want him to because it ramps up really fast the honor price.
Well,
right?
it's not even that. The problem is if you bid anything, if you switch your bids here, you basically invite Pablo. You give Pablo free reign. You're at least putting pressure on Pablo this way. The problem is you're just down auxiliary ways to draw cards.
Well, that's Crane's perennial problem. Do you think he's saving the fate for here? Like he's being really fate hungry.
So
and I'm wondering what the point is.
So there's Miyako.
That costs 1.
Yeah, I'm just looking at cards that he Miyako and Mark of Shame are his big expensive conflict. I guess Miyako doesn't actually count. It's just mostly Mark of Shame that's expensive in quotation marks.
Yeah, I mean,
his goblin sneaks. Oh, he does have Mono no Ore. There's a singleton copy of Mono no Ore.
Yeah, And he also goes for the Earth Ring, which I agree with, but
What had a fate on it too, so like
yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
we're going for Earth here.
yeah.
Um,
He was
he
prepping this
he
this
could he
Earth
could
Ring.
play favorable alliance.
Yeah, that would actually be pretty sweet. That card against me a couple times, and every time that he does, I do feel pretty bad about it. Um, it's a pretty decent card. It's just kind of like the 41st card a lot of the time. It feels like.
Well, he has 2 copies in it, so this was it was at least cards 38 and or 39 and 40 here.
Me, it feels like card 41.
So Pablo does get just doesn't defend and then loses the Earth Ring, discards even the odds at random. We're probably gonna see an attack from the Brawler here. We could see Paul at Upholding Authority, so you get a free poke and then you can threaten to bow. We could see us. I actually like maybe attacking with the General first. Okay, so we're gonna see a double mill attack here. Goes for air and just like taking it off the table, and then you can disguise Zentaro.
Yeah, like that. And this is a pretty safe air attack.
All these other rings suck, honestly.
Yeah. I
Like
mean, I
like
could see water just bow his board.
yeah, that's fair. We do see him hit
Oh,
Midnight
but
Rebels, which is really
this is a
awkward. So
horrible hit.
so this is one of I was gonna say I was trying to think of the reasons why this could be bad. If you lose this ring here, that is like almost game
Such a
losing.
huge tempo loss. Holy fuck.
Well, he can always disguise Zentaro here, right? It's never gonna be that so unbelievably bad.
You want it's not unbelievably bad, but you do sort of want the Zentaro for a later for like the second attack,
Sure,
right?
sure. I mean the brawler is at 4 right now. Can bow the keeper initiate.
Yeah.
If you play any buff on the brawler, you can bow. There's a perfect cut on the brawler. Now now you can bow the brash samurai, which is
Um
probably what we're gonna see here. Just click your brawler on the brash samurai, and then force your opponent to have another Tessin.
yeah, I agree, Dario. Two keepers is really big.
Opponent did have the other Tessin.
So he can't get keepers, Gomsh, because he is seeker. In fact, most of these decks are seeker.
I believe if you're playing Honor, you are almost like always gonna be Seeker because of Kami Unleashed is so much better
Yeah.
than the other one.
It is just Kami Unleashed. Because everything else about Keeper currently is better.
Oh, you do get to run double provinces too, and
Yeah,
obviously Seeker money is still nice.
this is pretty huge.
I mean, he could also just disguise, like if this gets hairy, you disguised and then you can in service to my Lord Zentaro. Oh no, you can't. You don't have any non unique characters to use.
He probably runs a fair bit of conflict characters, right? I would imagine.
It's three something and 3 Kami, so I think it's maybe 3 of the 1-drop. The I don't know what it's called. The 1/1.
A Coma reservist.
Yeah, reservist.
Yeah.
So we did see the second Forebears Echoes get canceled by voice here.
I really like this Goblin Sneak play.
Yeah, so
I think that's a
now
really
it's really
important play.
awkward.
Yeah. He has to overlay this
You can't afford to lose this ring. Like
Yeah,
absolutely cannot
it'll be
afford.
a huge tempo swing if he does. Yeah, and he puts it in. Now if I was SlyNight, oh, he just passes.
Yeah, so now he's just gonna get broken here, and then we should see the tactical ingenuity get used again. I think rules like this
Wow.
are really dumb. Like I think the way that Tyler has ruled that gained abilities work with new characters is really just like from a balance perspective is not good.
From a rule
I
perspective,
understand
it
why
is
it works this way. I believe he should have just ruled that it didn't, so that the cards like this would be more balanced.
Sneak is not going to get bowed. Well, also the sneak was there. Dario, the sneak was there. Yeah, I agree.
Well, so
Marcus
the
changed it a
sneak
little bit.
would have gotten about if he didn't overlay. But then if he doesn't overlay, he doesn't win, and then you get 2 keepers. So it doesn't matter if your sneak is bad.
Yeah. And also the other thing is the sneak just prevented the other forebears.
Well, I mean, it would have to been the third one, right? Or did he get it with? Yeah, that would have had to been the third one.
Yeah.
So we can see reservist plus common cause here, which is what I think we're going to see actually.
Or ISTML.
Oh, sure, yeah, in service to my lord also.
And at this point, I think that Pablo.
Yeah, I mean now this attack is. Or wait, this thing is not unlimited, right? Yeah, never mind.
But,
It's just a normal reaction.
yeah,
I was gonna say he could gain another honor with honored blade, but it's
is normally worded. Yeah.
yeah, it's normally worded unlike cards like Watch Commander XD.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even think this card is too good if it had unlimited.
No, I mean it's a attachment that has restricted and costs money. You know, I think that it would be probably pretty fine.
It would be really good, I think, but like it wouldn't be broken.
Maybe if it
I
now
think the problem
this
now
and
is with cards
overcome.
like this. Like if you put unlimited on it, it feels like it would be broken only because the rest of the card pool is so powerful.
Right. It would be really strong with all the different ways that Lion has to get a person into combats, right?
Yeah,
That could be an easy 4 honor with in service to my lord. This is
and
really
we
strong
do
with
see
common card.
that was a really like that was an insanely good Como reserves there, right? Just used
Yeah.
in service to my lord, and then also common cause. And now we're gonna see Paul Void here to probably break up holding.
Yeah.
Like
The other one is what? Shameful?
no,
Oh,
Shameful's
Shameful's
broken.
already broken. What is this other province?
Is it Frostbitten
What is
Crossing?
Manicure? Oh, Frostbitten?
I don't
Why
know.
did the Frostbitten in
I'm
a
looking.
box?
No, never mind. It's before the throne, so it's something that he can't actually.
Oh, because he's valuing the break over.
Yeah. Because
Yeah, I think that's
the box is abandoning honor.
yeah. It's a bending honor.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's literally SlyNight is trying to play Scorpion here, like, but like also has weird car. I don't know.
You can even take that as a
I don't agree with the
win.
provinces, and I
I'll
don't
take
agree
away
with
the
the backhand
prepare
of
for war.
compliments.
You have to take the prepare for war. Yeah, good. He does. At this point, I think Pablo is just gonna win next turn, right? Like, what does he has like a sneak here? What does he have that can prevent this break? Money. Or Neil is.
What?
Okay, you're just being silent. I was unsure.
Yeah, there's nothing to say.
That was fair. Okay, I think that this is over. Is there a tutorial in the bin?
I don't know. There's
Or in
24.
the bin?
Yeah, there is. There's 24 cards in there, so
Yeah. Yeah, I don't see how you win here as Sly. I think you just lose on this next attack. SPRs, right? We said that?
what?
Doesn't run Soul Beyond Reproach?
He has no copies of Sylvian Reproach.
There's no way that he can set up. Well, I guess he has Way of the Crane. So he can Way of the Crane up to kill this.
Wait, let's check. Let's check to see if he has Way of the Crane. We have to make sure. It's not a given anymore.
Might have 2x. Calling it. He has 2x Way of the Crane.
He has no copies of Way of the Crane.
Really?
Yeah, you have 2 copies of Favorable Alliance, 3 Assassinations, 3 Backhanded Compliments, 3 Hige Sermons. Where are you finding room for good cards?
That is a that is a good question.
Yeah, we have 2 copies of Arbiter 2 copies of Arbiter Authority, 1 Mono Noori, 3 Hige Sermons. I actually think Hige Sermon is fine, but
It's something is fine.
it's just space, obviously. 2 Favorable Alliances and 3 Backhanded Compliments. Like we just actually
In
just
fact,
don't
if
have
he has a
space.
Hige Sermon here, he should play it and bow either this Spirit Caller or the Zentaro.
Yeah, it's probably the Zentaro. Or no, your opponent has a Way of the Lion, so Way of the Lion Toturi is 12.
Yeah. Okay, so he does play, and the Kitsu Spirit Caller, I agree with, because he doesn't play Ready for Battle, right?
Correct. Yeah, you just have regular. You also can't in service to my lord this the
Yeah.
Spirit Color because it's not unique.
No. And if he has any way of killing this Centauro,
I mean, it would have to be. There is no way on this attack.
well, sure there.
No, he
No,
doesn't
you
have a
can
way to
get
honor
a
his own
dojo. You
character.
can get a dojo to honor, and then you can mark a shame, and then you
Oh,
can.
sure. Yeah, Kakita Dojo. Yeah, sure. There we go. We found the line.
And like looking at Pablo's hand from last turn, it's it's decent, but it's honestly
I mean, Pablo just
kind
breaks.
of bad.
Pablo's literally breaking with just this brawler. It's abandoning honor. He has 4 province strength on his stronghold. The honored brawler plus military
Really
favor
not.
is just 5. Like you just attack and say, and you activate your tactical ingenuity and play pass button simulator.
Yeah. Um, I agree.
Like you could even do it on Paul if you wanted to not even offer your opponent the opportunity to defend.
I assume that he has some right there. Okay.
Okay, so we're disguising Kaguya before the conflict. This is good. Now you're definitely doing mill. There's 0 chance of Paul now,
Yeah.
and we're seeing. And so we do see Pablo use Chancellor's Aid to make both players discard a card here.
Yeah. Oh, okay, and he just discards it in service. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, SlyNight discarded an assassination. Didn't matter.
Yeah, Dario, what you were seeing was just the way
You're
that
seeing the reaction window.
it works. So he had the assassination. I wonder if he just had that. If he just drew that now.
Also,
Or if he had it.
you also can't disguise over the standing character because the standing character was a Goblin Sneak, and Kageyu is disguised Courtier.
Yeah. What I think that we're talking. What Dario was confused by is the way that it has like a before leaving trigger. You
No,
can
that yeah,
actually see the process of
we mentioned
discard.
that already though.
Yeah.
I was just pointing out that
Right.
it literally couldn't be the standing character.
It also looks that way when you disguise over like favored knees. No, the other one, the one that
Fawning
gives
Diplomat.
you, yeah, fawning diplomat, because it takes a moment to like react.
Well, no, it's just both characters are in play and you have to use your reaction window.
Okay, so he's Kageyu versus the.
Versus a million. I don't know. Like,
Oh, he did it against the Lions Pride Brawler.
yeah, it doesn't matter because Kageyu is not going to win.
Yeah, no, I agree, but I think that like he's actually sort of, if he has a noble sack in hand and a Marcus Shame, I think he's actually pretty okay here.
No, he's literally taking a break if he does that. What are you talking about?
Oh, the.
You mark of
Oh, yeah,
shame
you're
that
right.
you mark. Yeah, like literally, it's 5-1. Literally on board taking a break.
Yeah, you're right.
And you know your opponent has Way of the Lion in their hand.
This is where you Miyako over the Goblin Sneak to dishonor the um
You'd have to dishonor the
the
brawler.
line control and prevent the break. No, he doesn't need two. He just
He just
needs
needs him.
one
I mean,
and a
he needs
null.
cards that do things. How's that?
He
He
does
needs
well.
proactive
That's the
cards.
real big thing here. He needs
Like
cards that do things.
show me cards that win conflicts. So far,
Okay,
SlyNight
well,
has not shown
maybe
me a
we'll
lot of
put that
cards that
with
win
the
conflicts.
favorable alliance. This is okay. So he does have the Four Shame. He has another Hige. He does have the Miyako here, and so this is actually a really solid fucking favorable
Yeah,
alliance. Holy,
he flipped 2 Four Shames and a Bonsai along with
yeah,
a Miyako. Pretty insane.
yeah. Oh, and whiff on the tactical ingenuity.
I mean, we
That
have a
sucks.
favorable ground here. Like,
He still has he has
like
a fine katana and a perfect cut. A Kami Unleashed, but I just way
well,
of the line.
Kami Unleash is really important because you can Kami Unleash your Spirit Color to then bring into
Yeah, I
Turi.
understand. Would have actually considered keeping the. Oh, he might have two assassinations in hand because you have to snap assassinate this Kami
Yeah,
Unleashed,
you don't
right?
discard assassination unless you have 2 because you know your opponent has. Yeah, he already used the Dojo Zarzeket.
Yeah, he did.
Used it with
He did do
Kageyu to
honor to
honor it.
Kageyu.
What do you mean disguise once per turn, Gums? I mean, you can disguise as many number of characters as you want as long as it's a legal target.
You can disguise multiple times. You just can't disguise the same character because all disguised characters are unique.
Yeah, unique.
You can't like get double Kageyu or double Zentaro.
Like you can't disguise Miyako over Kageyu because Kageyu is unique.
Yeah. Guys is actually very oddly written, so it's easy to. It is not intuitive at all.
I mean, you say that, but also the first line of text is non-unique.
Yeah,
So
but like I mostly mean like you can go home with it. You can
yeah, but that doesn't
like.
have anything to do with like what this question, right? Like this question is literally, can you disguise multiple times? And the answer is yes. There's nothing in the
This
rules
is
that
always
says
the
you
best
can't.
feeling, by the way, when someone backhanded compliments themselves.
I mean, he's just cycling it.
Yeah. At this point, it doesn't matter.
But like also this card is in his deck, so like that's also one thing.
Yeah. It's like having a 37 card deck anymore.
Sure. But like you also have no way of the cranes or other useful cards.
Yeah.
And
Oh, there was.
and we're playing multiple noble sacks, right? Like we're trying to set up multiple noble sacks, and we don't have any copies of Soulbeyond Approach or Way of the Crane.
Yeah, that seems very loose. What
Like
was the Jigoku bug? Gosh. It could be that like there was just like a rules error.
I mean, it also could have been user error. I find that a lot of the Jigoku bugs in quotation marks are user error, or like users are trying to do something that's not legal.
I also agree that I Can Swim is a lot better than Backhanded Compliment in this case. I mean, there's a lot like calling in favors is a lot better than Backhanded Compliment.
Yeah, imagine if he had calling in favors to just kill this stupid tactical ingenuity.
Or honestly, just take the Honor Blade or something. Like, damn, there's a lot of really good things that you can.
Calling in favors in the meta right now is really good too. There's just like a lot of really good attachments that are being played right now.
Just representing calling in favors prevents every single talisman from ever being played.
No, that's the coward's way. Like you know, you have to make them have it. You can't just be like, well, he could have it, so I can never play this card.
You can't depend on it though.
Sure, that's different than saying it prevents it from ever being played.
All right. Well, allow me a little bit of hyperbole.
Okay, did you Miyako over your Whisperer instead of your Brash Samurai? Because if you didn't have a courtier, you wouldn't be able to disguise Kageyu. So if you use Miyako on your Whisperer, you no longer have a courtier to disguise Kageyu.
Oh, you're answering.
I'm answering chat.
Yeah.
So that is what I would assume is what happened.
Yeah. So then you would need to do the Miyako over the Brash and the
And then
Kageo over the Whisperer.
yeah. I don't know. This scenario here feels like it could very easily be user error.
Okay, stop.
Like sequencing.
I think I would just play the Kami Unleashed here if I was Pablo instead of playing this perfect cut.
I mean, you don't have to, right? Like, you could save the Kami Unleashed for something else. Like, you also have a favorable ground. Like, the perfect cut the perfect cut represents a break and forces action.
Yeah, that's fair. It's on Pablo's turn. I wonder what he's considering. Wait, no. I imagine that we're gonna see the Zentaro die. Yep. Imagine that he plays the stupid Kami Unleashed. Because I do think that oh, wait the line. Sure, yeah, I like this play.
There's no more courtier in play for these 4 shames.
Oh, he used all the 4 shames.
Oh, he
though.
used them all. Sorry. Oh, I see.
Yeah.
He used them to get the noble sack off.
Yeah.
We're still breaking. This really useful stronghold province is coming through here.
Into the Forbidden City here would be much better.
Literally anything would be better, Arash. Any non-3 strength, blank 4 strength province would be better. How's that?
Yeah, I mean, we're not sure if SlyNight doesn't have a Mark of Shame in his hand, but his play definitely suggests that he doesn't, right? Yeah. Draw card doesn't show up. That is an issue. GG. Like all he needed to do was just win the watering, and then there's very little you can do against this Kitsuki. Kitsu.
Holy shit. Kitsu what?
Only Kitsu on the board.
I mean, Kitsu's a family, not anything else. So, like,
only one family member is on the board.
I mean, you can do so much against Kitsu. Like, it's tough to know which Kitsu you're talking about.
The one that's on the board.
I don't see one on the board. I see a spirit color, but I can't read the first part of the
What family
card.
is the spirit color from?
Not sure.
Okay, then that I think is a problem lying with you. Not necessarily with my wording.
Your wording is shit. So I mean, it's tough.
I will agree.
You
that my wording
also
is
said Kitsuki, which is the wrong clan.
well, yeah, you're right. That's a common one for me actually. Yeah, I agree, Zarzaka. He probably should have bid 5 that second turn instead of bidding 1. He had the honor to burn, and he just the card differential was really big.
Yeah, I don't know. The thing is,
Win.
the way the game went, like, he played a bunch of cards that didn't win conflicts.
Yeah.
And, like, only on that final turn did we see him actually play enough cards to actually have an impact on a conflict. It was just too little, too late. So
this is also a long-standing thing between Anil and I, because I call Kitsuki Investigator the Kitsuki, and he always asks me which Kitsuki.
yeah, because you're the only person who does that instead of just saying Investigator.
Yes,
Literally
that's true.
everybody else in the community says Investigator or Spirit Color, but you just randomly say the first word. So they say Swordsmith, but you just randomly say Agasha.
One other person who says Kitsuki as
Who?
opposed to
Who?
I don't know. I haven't investigated yet.
You're gonna need to. As it stands, you're literally the only person.
As it stands, yeah, but wait until my investigations are at their end.
They drew a lot of cards off TI. It was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think it was 5 cards off of TI.
Oh.
It was 2 from the Honor General, and then 3 from Zentaro, I believe, or 2 from Zentaro.
So this makes it so that it's 1-2. The Grease leading.
Yeah, so we have Unicorn Mirror still left. We have a Dragon Mirror. We have Crane versus Crab and Phoenix versus Scorpion. So like, if you just give it a rundown, I like Spain in the Phoenix versus Scorpion matchup. I think Phoenix does well versus Scorpion, and obviously we have Jose. Although historically Jose historically Jose has struggled versus Scorpion, so who knows?
Well, you just gotta wait for them to. Yeah, you're right. But I do agree. I think that like Scorpion prefers the air deck over just SOV.
Well, I don't think it matters because I actually think this is worse now because before you had Edict, now you have to take City of the Open Hand as your restricted card.
Yeah, it is definitely worse. But like, I don't know. SOV is just such a slow deck that like you flip a couple of
No,
ancient.
I think I'd rather play against a slow deck. I have more opportunities to draw cards. If I'm just getting zerged, I'll just die. Like you buy Shoju, you got guys Shoju against the bird deck, and you feel really dumb because he can't do anything.
I guess my only experience is when I had Edict.
Yeah, when you
I
have Edict,
way
it's different,
preferred
right? When
Edict.
you're trading a 0 mana cancel for a 2 fate event, right? When you
Yeah,
don't have that
I
that
remember that.
safety on turn 1, and if you don't win favor, like it's super important.
Yeah, I find the SOV deck to be pretty good against Scorpion though.
Sure,
Um,
but like I think Phoenix in general is good against Scorpion.
yeah, I agree. Hey, I gotta go to the restroom, so I'll see you.
All right, later.
Yep.
And I think Greece is favored in Crab versus Crane, and then we have 2 mirrors, obviously. So I think this match could go either way. And that'll do it. Thanks everyone for hanging out.